Yes, ma'am. So yesterday we discussed about information security syllabus, course outcomes, and we started with the CIA triad. So what is confidentiality, integrity, availability? Now let me start with the first. What is security? What is happening? Okay. So information security. So what is information security? Yesterday I said that information need to be secured. So information can be anything. This the data which you're providing in the social media, and information can be available in your mobile phones, or information can be available in the systems. Those are very sensitive. You have to provide a security. Okay. So, information security is a well informed sense of assurance that information risks and controls are in balance. So, risks and controls are in balance means what? For example, if your system, if there is an organization which is where there is so much of risks, means there are so much of threats, there are so much of vulnerabilities present in that. So what it has to be done, it has to be controlled. Then only what happens, ma, if not controlled, then lots of sensitive information present in that organization will be leaked, and so much loss will be there. So it should not happen. If there is a risk, there should be a corresponding we need to control them. Okay. So control. So next is what necessary to reveal the origins of this field. So let us start with why there is a need, where from where we started the security. We need to know the history. So why there is a need of studying this information security is, as presently everyone knows that it is whatever that we are doing is completely online. Yesterday itself I said that even a primary school students to tell all are educating in online. Okay. So here when there is an online, but first of all initially we need to know history. So this is history of information security. So history of information security began immediately after the first mainframes were developed. So mainframes were a very big bulky computers, no? Very big bulky computers, where those computers memory size will also be very less. RAM size, all those will be very less when coming to the today's days. But uh, if you see the olden, try to concentrate. So what we are having a code developing breaking codes we are having, which we are having in a World War II. So what is this World War II? This, if you see this enigma, you can understand. So this is your enigma machine. So this is your enigma machine. So what is this enigma machine is, this, whatever the messages that we are communicating with this will be completely encrypted. So the text will be in an encrypted format. So when it is in an encrypted format, you must know how it will be converted. So there are so many techniques used in order to do a plain text to cipher text. Hope everyone knows about plain text to what is plain text and what is cipher text. Let me explain. Plain text is nothing but whatever that we can able to read that, like hi, hello, how are you. If I send a message to one particular student, to one through WhatsApp, so it will be like hi, hello, how are you. It is in a readable format. So converting that readable format to a, which we cannot understand, it is an unreadable format where we cannot read. It will be like something like hiv, something, so that you cannot read that. So it is in a encrypted format. So this is your first enigma machine, which is in encrypted format. So which was developed by German people for military applications during World War II. Okay. So what internally it uses is a first concept that everyone must know. It internally, there are so many techniques for encryption, just now I said. So for encryption there is DES, that we will discuss in later, how many keys, how many rounds will be there in a second unit. But internally, as this is a first encryption enigma machine, so in this it uses substitution technique. Okay, means what? If there is an A, corresponding substitution alphabet will be, if there is A, it will be replaced with V, like that. Substitution. So there will be two techniques especially involved while doing encryption. One is substitution and other one is transposition. Substitution is substituting in place of one alphabet to other, in that place the other alphabet will be placing. Transposition means changing the positions of the alphabets. Like for example, if there is hello, what is transposition? Based on the technique that I used, based on the key that I used, it will be like ELLOH, like that, changing the positions. If H is in first position, H may be going in the third position, like that. But this is your Enigma machine where it uses transposition technique. Okay, so this uses a transposition technique which was developed by the German people for military applications for World War II. So whenever there is, they used to use the system for communication. But what happens? Ma, definitely, if there is a security, then there will be a breach. Then will be an attack, definitely. So British people has uh, break this and they can able to get the plain text. But how? But how is, try to see, ma. So here, try to understand. Here is what? Physical controls to limit access. See the third step, ma. Physical control to limit access to sensitive military locations to authorized persons. So initially what happens? Don't be in don't previously, when the first systems were mainframe systems were developed and first Enigma machines were developed, in that olden days, there is no, what, computer networks, means the systems are not connected with each other. Only the documents which are present in that we used to access. Now if we use that, this system is not connected and you are only using the content which is present in that, means, can anyone tell me what kind of security can we provide for that? Should we provide a security at routers? Should we provide the security at what, firewalls, all those, or what kind of security can we provide for this Enigma machine? Enigma machine was introduced in the year 1960s, ma. Enigma machine in the year 1960s, where it is not, you're not even using an operating system yet, just the documents that we are storing, sensitive documents, and you are, with that you are sharing that information. Okay, now if you have to provide a security. What security? Physical security. Okay, so you need to log wherever you are placing that Enigma machine, that has to be logged. Okay, that has to be logged. But just now I said that British people has broken and they intercepted the communication and they can able to get the plain text. How is? They have stolen that Enigma machine and they have broke and they got the information actually how that internally converted. That is about the history of first Enigma machine, which it uses. Is it uses substitution or transposition? Is it uses substitution or transposition? Anyone, ma? Anyone? Okay. Okay. Now, coming to in 1960s. Okay, so after Enigma in 1960s, Advanced Research Project Agency began. Okay, so this is what Larry Robert developed ARPANET. Okay, so who is the founder of internet? Who is, we can say as Larry Robert. Okay, so what is this actually is? Initially, they have created one program where that started sharing the information. So they started sharing the information, time sharing, so resource sharing, time sharing. So here what they started with, they started linking the systems and they started communicating with each other. So with, see here, Fifth point, link 17 computer research centers, network research. So they linked with 17 computer research centers and they started communicating. At that time, uh, security was not the major issue. They have not concentrated on security. Their main concentration is sharing the resource from one system to another system. Okay, so this was a plan. So it has done, but later what happened is, because of that sharing the resources, as this new technique has been introduced, but the problem with this here is there is no safety, identification is not there. So identification and authorization, who is a person who has to use those resources, sharing those resources, who is authorized, who is not authorized, there are no proper dial-up connections to ARPANET. So because, and later in 1970s we started with microprocessor, expanded computing capabilities and security threats. So next we started with what? Concentrated more on security. So we started on, concentrated more on security. Why? Because in ARPANET, which was introduced in 1968, there was a problem with user identification and authorization. There is no proper safety procedures for dial-up connections. For that, so we started with more on security from this year, 1970s and 80s. So in 1970s and 80s, there was a paper written called, this will be a short question you may ask, there was a paper written on information security for providing the security as we started sharing the resources. So the paper called RAND report R609. Okay, so this RAND report R609 is used for providing the security. But if you open, I said that it is used for providing the security. What kind of a security? What kind of security is that? It consists of different policies, different mechanisms used in order to provide a security. Okay, so if you open that, if this is the security measures, these are the security mechanisms. In this way you have to provide a security so that threats will be reduced. Okay, so here is scope of security, computer security, from physical security to include safety of data, limiting unauthorized access to data, and involvement of personnel from multi-level of organization. Means, what is this personnel from multi-level of organization means? Yesterday itself I said that in the organization there will be multiple employees, there will be so many employees, right? So for all the employees we cannot give access, right? So okay, for all the employees in the organization, let us consider uh, Anurag University is there. For all the faculty, will they give permissions to access what to access examination branch results data? No, only few people which are exam branch related faculty, only those will have a credential. So only those will have a rights to open and rights to share you the memo or rights to share you the results. Okay, the other faculty will not have a right. Okay, so that is from multi-level of organization. So it started increasing, how, in which way it has to provide a security. So we should not share to all. Based on the designation, based on the role, we have to provide the limit, and the other faculty should not have an access. So they will be acting as unauthorized access. Okay, so they will be acting as a unauthorized people. Okay, now Multics. So this is the initial operating system. This is the initial operating system, multiplexed information and computing service. Okay, so its main goal is created with security. So first operating system created with security as a main goal. Okay, so the main goal of this Mertex multiplexed information and computing service is, this is the first operating system where created by considering the security issues is the main goal. Okay, so this is mainframe time shared OS developed in 1960s at Bell Labs, right? So MIT. Okay, so now after some years, so they started creating one more operating system, and that operating system is Unix. Okay, so Unix operating system. But where initially when created a Unix operating system, they have not used password protection. Now in the present days, without password protection, it is very complicated for us to provide a security. Okay, so but now we can have a security major concern. Okay, so 1990s, what happened? Network of computers became more common. So what is happening, it has become as a global network of networks. So if it is global network of networks, what is happening? Millions of computers. So this will become it. This started, and security at that time in 1990s, global networks of networks started, but the problem is security was treated as low priority. But present, from 2000 to present till now, what happens? My network internet brings millions of computer networks into communication with each other. But what happens? Some network will have unsecured. Many of them are unsecured. Definitely, right? So if you're connected, now let us consider, if you're connected with one site and you open something, you want some information. If you open, then definitely you cannot trust whether that is what whether that is genuine site or not. Yesterday itself, I said that phishing. So phishing is what? Phishing, it will be looking as the same site, SBI site, but that will be what? That will be same, it will be looking as the same original one, but that is not the same site. You will open considering that is the same site, and you will give the details, the detailed confidential information, your PIN number, everything will be taken. And what happens? Your account amount will be debited. So here so present till now, internet has the ability to secure computers data is very important. So you need to provide whatever the data which is available in the computers, you have to provide security. Okay, that is one. Okay, so here we started with what, ma? We started with we start history of information security started with first mainframes, which are very bulky computers. And these bulky computers, one of the computer is enigma machine. It is a what? Enigma machine is a, whatever the communication is done through encryption standard. Okay, next ARPA introduced. But once ARPA introduced, where where security is not major concern. Next, we started with what? Uh, as Yes, after once ARPA introduced, as because of the popularity, sharing the resources as it has been increased, so then they started thinking about security. So if they started thinking about security, they started writing a security paper called RAN Report R609. So what is this RAN Report R609? It shows all the security mechanisms, policies, what are all the protocols, the rules should be followed in order to provide a security. Next is, this is one first Martex operating system where prime security is considered as a major goal. Next followed by Unix. Next in 1990s, networks, computer networks, interconnection of networks started. There also security was not treated. It is treated as low priority. But present, without, if security is not there, we cannot even trust the site also. So even for now there, along with Amazon, Flipkart, there are so many websites where we e-commerce websites, but you will not trust that, where you will not even the what even the selling items which are present in that are very good. And even if you are getting the in reasonable price also, you will see the reviews, you will see if there is a trust, if are there any purchase. Yes, if purchase, then only you will go for buying. So present because of security reasons. Okay, so now let me go with what is security. Okay, so for this topic only, I asked 4 students to provide what? Video pics. So What is this? Security. What is security? So what is security? The quality or state of being secure, to be free from danger. Okay. So how many different securities are there? See here, ma. Physical security, personal security, operation security, communication security, network security, information security.